Hello, my smartest artists. Welcome to week 6 of our distance learning in the art room for MLK SOA. You guys are doing such a great job on all of your art projects. I've been so proud of you to see all your different art work that you've been putting on your class dojo portfolios. If you have not done lessons 1 through 5, so the color wheel, the plate portrait, the nature art, or the watercolor, or the heart art, you are still welcome to do those art projects. You can take pictures and put them on your dojo classroom portfolios. I would still love to see them even if the time has passed by. Also, for this upcoming week, we finally get to get into that model magic. So you guys received 3 packs of the model magic in your art kits, and we are gonna get into those this week, and we are gonna make some sculpture art that we get to make into 3-dimensional art projects. So I'm super excited to get in these. Remember to keep updated on your Google Classroom Art with Miss Everett topics, and make sure that you've completed all of your art projects to date, and let's get into this model magic. Wayne Thiebaud is an American artist that currently resides in Northern California. He is best known for his artwork that includes colorful cakes, slices of pie, candy pieces such as lollipops, gumball machines, and he also does some landscapes of the streets of San Francisco. He currently lives in the Sacramento area and was a longtime professor at University California in Davis. When he was younger and first moved to California, he interned at Disney. Then he had served in the Air Force as an artist and a cartoonist. Tebow is known for painting consumer objects, or things that are regular everyday items that you would get in a store or a bakery. In these wonderful artworks of desserts and treats, Tebow uses lots of patterns or repetition that repeats. He also uses bright colors and the use of light and dark to exhibit strong contrast that makes his work very interesting. Almost all of Tebow's work has light and shadows that give a sense that the items are 3-dimensional on a 2D surface. All right, my smartest artists, we have talked about Wayne Thiebaud, the artist that made pop art inspired by desserts and treats. So today we are gonna make a lollipop out of our model magic, and we will be making a 3D sculpture. You will need 1 package of your model magic, and then you could either use a chopstick, or if you have some of these from Dollar Tree, you'll need 1 of these, or you could also use a straw or a popsicle stick. Anything will work for the stick part of the lollipop, and then we'll be using our watercolors from our art kit to paint our lollipop. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to open our model magic. Scissors work best. Throw that in the trash. And then you're gonna notice we've used model magic before in the art room. TK and Kinder, this will be your first time using it, but we've used it before, and we are going to kind of warm it up a little bit by just feeling it between our hands, kind of working it through a little bit just to get it a little bit softer. Now, model magic's not clay. It's different because it is kind of a foam, so it won't dry completely hard. And even after it dries, you want to be very careful with it. It can still break or even crack. So once you kind of work it out a little bit in your hands, We're gonna set it on the table and we are going to roll a coil, or sometimes in the art room we call it a snake. So you're gonna take your two hands and you're gonna start to press down and you're gonna roll out your Model Magic. And you can see that it's starting to get longer. I'm gonna use both my hands to keep rolling it. We're gonna keep going, rolling out our snake. We wanna try our best to make sure that it is even as we roll it. So we don't wanna press hard in one spot to make it uneven. We wanna make sure that we're just kind of using the same pressure. I'm gonna ask somebody to help you if you need to. "18 inches or 1.5 rulers. If you go over, that's fine too. If you go under, that's fine. You're just gonna give it a nice, even roll. So we should have one long coil or snake that we've rolled out using our hands. Now the next part is we are going to make a spiral. You guys know a spiral. We've talked about it lots of times with Larry the Lime. When we see a spiral, it is in a circular shape and it rounds and goes around into itself. So we are gonna make a spiral with this coil. So you can take one of your ends of your Model Magic and you're gonna tuck it in to itself, and then we're gonna roll it. It will also kind of look like a snail shell. Roll that, or you can wrap around. And now we have a spiral. It's kind of looking like the candy part of a lollipop. But right now it's just white, and we want to paint it. But before we paint it, we're going to choose any one of those items, whether it's a wooden dowel, a chopstick, a straw is what we usually use in the art room when we do this project. And you're gonna take that, or popsicle stick, and you're going to gently push it in to your lollipop. Okay, now we're gonna get ready to paint. So when it's time to paint, remember, you are the artist and you get to choose what color you want your lollipop to be. And you can use your imagination. You can make it as bright and colorful as you want. Last week we talked about rinsing our brush, swish, swish, dab, dab. And we talked about ballerina brush dances on her tippy toes in the paint. So this time you're going to decide what colors you want, and you're gonna paint the top of your lollipop. Couple tips about when you're using watercolor is the longer, we talked about this last week, you twirl your brush in the paint, the brighter the color will be. So if you want some vibrant colors, you really want to spin your brush around. And then you want to be sure that you're filling all the white space of your lollipop. And that means inside these little crevices, And then also on the sides and underneath, you want to make sure that we can fill up all of those spaces so it really looks like candy and not Model Magic anymore. So sometimes you have to really get on the side and look underneath and make sure you're painting underneath it. And then I'm gonna let this dry and then come back in a little bit and paint the other side. So you can set your lollipop, leave it here for a little bit until you notice that the paint is dry, and then you'll be able to come back and turn it over. Okay, so I let the front part dry, and now I'm going to paint the back side. And we are going to use the watercolors. We twirl our brush if we want a brighter color. Paint inside, make sure you cover all the white spaces, and then we'll see how it looks at the end. So when you're done, you're gonna let it dry, the paint dry, but then you're also gonna wanna make sure you let the Model Magic dry. And sometimes Model Magic can take up to a couple days, especially here on the peninsula where it's a little bit more moist in the air. So hopefully you can just set this to the side and wait for it to dry. And then this year I used a stick, last year we used straws. Straws worked better to push it in and kind of stay. But if you're using a stick, you might need to add a little bit of glue. In your art kit, there's a bottle of glue. If you just want to have a family member help you, just squeeze a couple dots of glue on there so that your stick stays. And then when you're done and it's all dry, I would love for you to take a picture of you and your Wayne Thiebaud inspired lollipop and upload it to the art and music class on Class Dojo, and make sure you put it in the lollipop activity for your portfolio with a picture of you holding it. I can't wait to see them.